The sea was a sheet of dark churning glass, its surface fractured by the relentless wind and rain. Rain lashed down in heavy sheets as our small boat pitched and rolled, fighting to stay upright in the wild Sulu Sea. A headline echoed in my mind: "Fishermen lost at sea, near disputed border." The words felt heavier out here, surrounded by nothing but water and uncertainty. This wasn't a game. This was the wild, unpredictable frontier between Malaysia and the Philippines, where nature, not politics, rules, and the ocean is both a barrier and a lifeline. Every crashing wave reminded me of the stakes, each surge a reminder that survival here is never guaranteed. This journey wasn't about flags or grand statements. It was about understanding what a border truly means to those who live and work on it every single day. News stories focus on conflict and tension, but I wanted to see the life that endures here, the daily routines, the quiet moments, the resilience that rarely makes headlines. My guide, Rizal, a local fisherman, gripped the tiller with weathered hands, his calm focus telling me all I needed to know about the realities of this place. We were in his world now, a place where a sudden squall could be fatal, and a working engine meant the difference between life and death. For thousands here, this is daily life. The sea is their workplace, their highway, and sometimes, their greatest threat. The real test wasn't just our equipment but our nerve, our ability to keep going when every instinct screamed to turn back. We were pushing into a place few outsiders ever see, where cultures blend, languages mix, and life is stripped to its essentials. The headline that sparked this journey now felt like a challenge, a call to look deeper, to move beyond the surface, a challenge to find the truth beneath the waves, to uncover the stories hidden in the depths, far from the eyes of the world, to see the real story of this invisible line, a border drawn not on maps, but in the lives of those who cross it every day, and to understand the resilience, hope, and quiet courage of those who call this place home, living on the edge of the unknown. Our mission was simple: reach the maritime boundary between Malaysia and the Philippines. But what seemed straightforward on a map was anything but in reality. The line dividing two nations is invisible, yet crossing it is a journey that tests every ounce of resolve. There's no wall, no fence, just a solitary buoy bobbing in the endless blue, marking the edge of two worlds. To get there, we had to traverse rugged land, hacking through dense jungle, before embarking on a long, unpredictable sea voyage. Each step and every wave brought new challenges. The Sulu Sea is infamous for sudden storms and engine failures. Out here, a dead engine can mean days adrift, with only the horizon for company and uncertainty as your closest companion. Preparation was everything. Waterproof bags, a satellite phone, medical kit, high-energy rations, and water purifiers. Every item was chosen for survival, not comfort. Flares, a signal mirror, and a locator beacon. Essentials you hope never to use but can't afford to leave behind. But the most vital thing wasn't gear. It was trust. Trust in your team, and in the people who know these waters best. I had to trust Rizal, our captain, who knew these waters, the shifting weather, and the local networks that could mean the difference between safety and disaster. Here, local knowledge is your lifeline. The wisdom of fishermen and elders passed down through generations is more valuable than any map or GPS. Our survival depended on the expertise and goodwill of those who call this place home. Their support was our anchor. We packed light but smart. Every ounce counted. Every item had a purpose. The journey ahead would test every bit of our preparation, and every decision would matter. Out here, success hinges on trust and adaptability. The sea rewards those who respect its power and punishes those who don't. The border was more than a line. It was a challenge to be met together, a symbol of the unknown that lay ahead. We set out, knowing the real adventure was just beginning, and that every mile would shape our story, and that every mile would demand respect for the sea and its people, reminding us that here, survival is a shared journey. Our journey began not at a marina, but in Bulian, a remote village deep in the southern Philippines. Hours in a battered 4x4 brought us through jungle and dirt tracks, revealing just how isolated these communities are. Here, the sea is the true highway. The coastline was dotted with stilt houses and fishing boats, the air thick with salt and drying fish. The people live with one foot on land, one in water. Tides and seasons dictate their lives. We spent our last night on land negotiating passage, on a supply boat, Rizal handling it in the local dialect. Without him, we'd be outsiders. With him, we were welcomed. As the sun set, anticipation grew. The overland trek was just the prologue. Tomorrow we'd leave land behind and commit to the sea. Our gear was ready, our minds focused. The real journey was about to begin. At dawn we boarded the Lanza, a sturdy wooden supply boat, its deck stacked high with sacks of rice, fuel drums, and the hopes of everyone on board. The air was thick with anticipation as families, traders and travelers squeezed together, each with their own reason for crossing these waters. Chickens clucked in bamboo cages, goats shifted nervously, and the scent of fresh produce mingled with salt air. The boat was more than just a vessel, it was a floating slice of island life, carrying not just goods, but stories and dreams. As we left Bullion behind, the familiar turquoise shallows faded beneath us, replaced by the deep, mysterious blue of the open sea. The gentle lapping of waves against the hull gave way to a steady, rolling rhythm. The islands slowly receded, their green silhouettes shrinking until they were just memories on the horizon. In their place, endless water and sky stretched in every direction, making us feel both free and exposed. Isolation set in. Just us, the boat, and the vastness. The world felt enormous, and we were a tiny speck moving across its surface. The journey was long, the sun relentless, beating down on the deck until sweat soaked our clothes. The engine's drone was a constant companion, vibrating through the planks beneath our feet, reminding us of the distance still to go. Rizal was at ease, reading the clouds for signs of weather, and sharing dried fish with fellow passengers, a simple gesture that brought smiles and a sense of camaraderie, even among strangers. Out here, you look out for each other. People passed water, food, and stories, forging bonds that only a shared journey can create. As the sun dipped low, painting the sky gold and crimson, a distant island finally appeared. Our stop for the night, a welcome sight after hours at sea. Relief swept over the passengers, smiles broke out and tired bodies straightened, energized by the promise of rest and solid ground. We'd crossed a major stretch, but the border was still far. The sea between us and our destination seemed endless, a reminder of the challenges ahead. The next leg would be in a much smaller, more vulnerable boat, a wooden outrigger exposed to the elements and the whims of the sea. This supply boat had been our shield, our lifeline across the waves. Soon, we'd face the open sea on our own, with nothing but faith and determination. The stakes were rising, and so was our resolve, and the real test was still ahead, out there, in the vast unknown, where courage and hope would be our only guides. We landed on a tiny coral island, just sand, palms, and a handful of stilt houses. No electricity, no shops. Life here is stripped to the basics. The community survives by the sea. Men fish at dawn. Women and children dry and salt the catch. Every part of the marine ecosystem is used. Nothing wasted. The sea is their provider, and their greatest threat. Storms can destroy homes, poor fishing means hunger, and the health of the reefs is everything. I learned how families collect rainwater and use salvaged solar panels for a single bulb or phone. Hardship is constant, but so is freedom and community. Evenings brought everyone together. Stories, songs, shared food. They had little, but they had each other. Survival here is about community, not just individual skill. Their resilience was humbling. These islanders are some of the toughest, most resourceful people I've ever met. On this island, national identity is fluid. The people are Sama Bajau, sea people, loyal to family and the ocean, not borders. The map's line means little. They've navigated these waters for centuries. Language is a blend. Tausug, Malay, Tagalog, English, switching effortlessly. Religion is a mix too. Islam shapes daily life, but old animist beliefs persist. Offerings to the sea before voyages show respect for both faith and nature. Even the food tells a story. Filipino and Malaysian flavors, grilled fish with chili, kinalaw with ginger. Every meal is a taste of centuries of trade and migration. Here, history is lived and eaten every day. The cross-border market here isn't a place. It's a network of boats meeting at sea. Filipino fishermen trade catch for Malaysian goods, oil, sugar, petrol. Officially illegal, but for locals, it's survival. Communication is a blend of old and new. Line of sight, meeting points and Malaysian SIM cards. Phones connect them to markets, partners, and family across the sea. I watched a fisherman video call his daughter in Malaysia, miles from land. Their lives are more connected to Malaysia than Manila. The border is a legal fiction they navigate daily. This invisible market isn't about profit, it's about adapting to reality. Technology bridges the gap, but survival is the real driver. The ingenuity here is remarkable. It's pure, adaptive survival. The day arrived. We set out in a small banca, aiming for the GPS-marked boundary. After an hour, Rizal pointed, a yellow buoy, weathered and barnacled, bobbing in the sea. This was the line. Philippines on one side, Malaysia on the other. I touched it, solid, but the border it marked was imaginary. The water, the fish, even a sea turtle. None cared about the line. Nature ignores our divisions. Rizal laughed. To him, the buoy was just a fishing landmark. Malaysia fish, Philippines fish. All the same, he said. The currents, not borders, matter here. For Rizal, the sea is unified, a provider, a home. The border is an idea for distant politicians. We floated in silence, one side of the boat in each country. I dipped my hands in both sides. No difference. Out here, human lines fade. The real community is bound by the sea, not nationality. The moment was humbling. The line was real only on the map. Returning from the border, my perspective had changed. Here, a border isn't a wall, it's a zone of interaction. The people have adapted, building a resilient society between two nations. The real adventure was seeing the world through their eyes. The physical journey was tough, but the lesson was deeper. Survival, adaptation, and community. I'm grateful to Rizal and the families who welcome me. They are the true heroes, guardians of this marine wilderness. As we headed back, the line vanished into the sea. For the people here, it's a challenge, a reality, and an opportunity. We can learn from them. Borders can be places to meet and understand, not just divide. The world needs more of that. And for me, the call to the next adventure is already growing. There are always more lines to cross.